Hey, I got a question for you. Do you know where most people kill their sales process and how this happens? It's kind of an interesting question because yesterday we talked about this. We talked about what really is, what do you want to think about when you're a salesperson and why? Are you a salesperson or are you a process person? So today we're going to talk about the biggest downfall of this whole thing. Let's talk about it right after this. So this is an interesting question because there is something that we all kill our sales process with. In fact, we kill a lot of processes with this. This is probably the number one reason why you don't achieve goals. Probably one of the number one reasons why you don't achieve goals. You're like, well, I stopped doing what I need to do in order to achieve my goals. That's true. However, this is really kind of one of those things why you stop doing what you need to do. And this is really interesting, but it's very simple. So when you think about a sales process, think about this overall. What are we trying to do? We're trying to go through a bunch of steps, and those steps all mean something. That's why we call it a process, right? It's a process because we've established these steps that procedurally we need to accomplish in order to achieve our goals. So what happens in the sales process and why do we do this? And frankly, what happens in so many other processes and why do we do this? This is a psychology type discussion here because this is something that we get excited about and we rush through. And what am I talking about here? Simply put, is cutting corners. Cutting corners. Have you ever cut corners? Have you ever thought about that? And what does it do to your sales process? So, here's what I'm thinking. Go back and reflect on the last process that you killed. The last one you killed. And what happened? A lot of times there weren't two things that were established. One is expectation and the other one is communication. So when you look at all sales processes, what happens here is we cut corners and then we get people wondering. They start wondering because we don't set expectations and we don't communicate those things. When people start wondering, they start thinking of the worst case scenario.